Aloha, it's Matthew, and I have a beach nails idea for you. Anybody clinging on to the last bit of summer like I am, we can do these together because autumn is rapidly approaching. So I already have some base polish on. This ORLY Breathable is called Surfs You Right, and it's very sheer. So I already have 2 coats of that on, and then this is See Y'all Later Chai from Holo Taco, and that's what I've got on these 2 here. For stamping, we're going to use Sequioa Frozen, Latte, and Bam White. And I might need some liquid latex, not sure. And then the 2 plates that I'm going to be using are M388. It's a layered seashell plate. And we're going to be using this one for the thumb, and I think this one, or maybe just a different portion of this one, for the ring finger. And then I have Chic Peak BM XL 476. That's a really long name. It's the Heart of Stone plate, and we're going to be using this over here to be making the illusion of sea foam. So if you want to see that happen, just keep watching. If you're new to my channel, welcome. If you are a subscriber, I thank you. My numbers are going up, and I'm really grateful for that. And if you haven't subscribed yet, feel free. If you like this video at any time, just like it, and that'll make it reach more people on YouTube. Okay, so I'm going to start with the sea foam nails, which are the blue ones, and we're using Bam White. And now this is going to be a 2-step process. I saw Abe, the Nail Babe, do this first. He did it in a different way. He used a jelly blue, which this one is kind of jelly, but it's got a shimmer in it. And then there's a technique where you can take your stamper and put cuticle oil on it, and then when you put polish on it, it separates, and it looks a lot like this stamp. But I'm going to use the stamp, and then I don't have to worry about putting cuticle oil on my stamper or trying to get it to separate correctly, you know, like exactly how I want it to happen. So this portion of the stamp is more dense, and we're going to put that on the under layer. So let's get started. I think since we're going to be using the same stamp for 3 nails, I'm going to try and use like different zones, if you will. I don't think anybody's going to snatch up your hand and say, those waves are the identical stamp. You need to go back and do it again. But, you know, for what it's worth, we'll get some variety on the nails. And so we're going to turn this one sideways and get this pinky here. And that is super cute. I mean, honestly, if you wanted to stop right there, in my opinion, I think that that's enough. And I think just to keep this, where's my orange stick? Just to keep this tutorial a little bit shorter, maybe I will keep it like that for 2 nails, and then show you what I plan to do for all the nails, or the other nails, and I can do that off camera. Okay, so let's clean off the stamper head. I'm gonna try for a second pull on the plate just to, you know what, I'm gonna clean it up, why not? I have the tools, I have the acetone. If we don't clean it, there's always the chance of getting a poor pickup, which on this one is not really going to matter as much because it's one of those non-symmetrical stamps. And so we're going for the middle finger on this one. It's a little bit, obviously it's bigger than my pinky nail. And okay, so let's go just like that. Okay, so now I'm going to just separate the stuff that didn't quite stick to the nail. And I'm going to grab that with some Scotch tape. So, Scotty's birthday is coming up on Saturday. It's coming right up this weekend. So, I already shared on a different video there that I sewed an Aloha shirt for him. And I am thrilled with how it turned out. But I realized about 3/4 of the way through the construction that I didn't add the 2 inches that I had on the first shirt that I made for him. I bumped that brown a little bit. We're going to be covering that with a stamp anyway. No one's going to notice. I didn't add the 2 inches in length because Scotty's 6'4". He's a tall man. And I'm hoping this shirt will fit him just right. I'm not even going to tell him. And if he tells me he thinks it's too short, then I will make him a longer one. And the funny thing is, that same fabric, my friend Christopher had said he wanted a shirt made from that same fabric. And both of them were okay with having identical shirts because Christopher is on Oahu and obviously Scotty's here on Hawaii Island with me. And so they were like, yeah, no big deal. So if the shirt is too short for Scotty, then perfect. I've already got a shirt made for my best friend, and then I can just whip up a new one for Scotty. So I've got all my bases covered. Okay, so let's do this last finger with these wavy bits, and I'm going to turn the plate around. So, well, I think I'm going to scrape it first, and then I'm going to just turn the stamp around. Again, I don't think anybody's going to notice that. No one's going to be looking that closely. But being somewhat of a perfectionist, I'm going to try for this direction on my index finger. And we're going to go just like that. Okay. So, push that free. Okay. Grab that piece of tape. And just peel up that excess. You can always put down a liquid latex barrier prior to stamping. But when they're really thin lines, like these little squiggles, they come off so simply with tape that sometimes it's easier to just use a piece of tape instead of putting liquid latex on all 3 of these nails and then trying to, waiting for it to dry, etc. But if it's a stamping polish that stains, or if it's a more solid design, I definitely use I try to remember to use the liquid latex. Okay, so, like I said, you could stop there. It looks super cute and beachy water waves, right? But what you can also do, now you need a more sheer polish for this effect. If you do it with something that's too opaque, it's not going to show up, right? So we're just putting one more layer over this white. which you can see, I think you might be seeing where we're heading with this. So you can still see that, that blue, I'm sorry, the white through the blue, right? Let's get some focus there, you know? Here, let me zoom in on it. So you can still see, like, the shimmer covers it up in some areas, and there's definitely a bluer tint to it. So it's not as crystal clear white as its neighbor, right? And let me zoom back out. Okay. So then, I'm gonna let this dry a little bit. So now we're gonna take this thinner end and do one more stamp. Let's clean off this stamper head. Yep. And then we're gonna do, trying to make sure that this blue is dry before we stamp on it. And then, you know what, we could probably get started on, just to give that a second to dry, let's get started on the base for the seashells on the thumb. And for that, I'm going to use liquid latex. Just because those are more solid designs, right? The big old seashells. And sometimes those will adhere to your skin and be more difficult to remove than the little skinny lines like we were working with the white. So Orly, I think, sent my my Color Pass subscription by boat. I think if you don't have the permit to fly nail polish, like Holo Taco and Mooncat must have a permit, because they label the exteriors of their box, and the same with Maniology. They label their exterior of the box that it's a, you know, a flammable material, but they're still allowed to fly it to me. And then from the main Orly website, they don't ship to Hawaii. But I signed up for the Color Pass, which is done through like a separate shipping site. And I signed up for it a year ago, and there was no issue. And in fact, they were flying my polishes to me, and they got here like the next day. Well, they shipped out my polishes back on, I think, the 15th, and I still don't have them. So, and the USPS says that they're on the way, so I think that they're coming by boat. So I'm watching everybody else putting up their reviews of the Terra Nova collection, and I'm just really excited to get mine. I hope it gets here soon. Okay, so we're going to do a base coat on this big wide one, and the colors we're going to use are Frozen and Latte. And what I'm going to do is just bloop some dots of polish around. And I think I'm going to go a little bit wider than I think it needs to be, because I have an unreasonably wide thumb, and my thumbnail, right? It's just wide. Okay, so let's get some Latte here and fill in the blanks, essentially, right? And then we're going to scrape this a couple times to kind of blend the two. So we're going to scrape kind of at a diagonal, I think. Like that. And then pick them up that way. Sweet. Okay. Okay, this is working out. And we're just gonna go right across the thumbnail. Oh. I knew that the latte was very similar to the one I was putting it on. But I did not realize it was gonna, oh, I can see it. Okay, in real life, I can see it. It's gonna be fine. I knew that it was really similar to the See Y'all Later chai underneath, but I knew that it was gonna be okay because I'm outlining it with the Sequioa. But what I didn't think about is that lining up the Sequioa over the outline over the fill might be a little bit trickier since it's a little bit less prominent, but I can see it. I think, yeah, and on the camera you guys can see it too. There is enough of a difference by eye that I think I'm going to be able to line this up. So wish me luck. Okay, so that was the fill layer, and I got some up in my detail layer. So I'm just going to go ahead and clean that out so we get a nice good pickup. And so the squiggly one is over here going that way. This curly Q one. Okay, so let's grab Sequioa, which is the darker brown, and I'm hoping that we can get, wait, so if that's going that way, I need all of this end. I really need this end here. And I'm probably way too much polish down, but I just want to make sure to get a good pickup for that one. Okay. And we're gonna scrape and pick it up. Okay. And I'm gonna go just like that, you guys. And I think I got the majority of them lined up. I think over here on the far, this side, I might have gone a little astray, but I think that looks super cute. Yeah, it does. Okay. Sweet. Fantastic. And like I normally do, we'll zoom in at the end and take a look at these nails in more detail at the end. Okay, get that all free. Oop, there's a big chunk. Okay. So, I was saying that Scotty's birthday is coming up, and we are going to do a little staycation. So on Saturday morning, we're going to go over to the west side of the island and go to the beach that we like, go to our favorite beach, and then head up to, or down to Kona from there and check into our hotel and spend the night over in Kona. And we don't often go out to bars because I don't drink. And so I think we're going to go out on the town and it's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to that. And we're going to go get, during the daytime, I think we're going to go get Willie's Hot Chicken, which is this great restaurant that, like, they do really good fried chicken. And then for his birthday dinner, we're going to go to Foster's Kitchen, which I've never been to before, but it's supposed to be kind of a fancy restaurant on basically the boardwalk. It's called ORLY Drive in Kona, which is like the main downtown drive. Okay, so that's all cleaned up. Okay, and so now we're coming back to this nail. I'm eventually going to do this to all 3 nails with the blue polish and the second layer, but I just wanted to keep the video a little more compact. So we need some BAM white, and we're going on the thinner portion now. Right? And pick that up. Okay. And we're going to be putting that, I think I'm going to flip it this way. Yeah. Nope, I'm going back the other way. I'm going to flip it right there. And then, I don't know if you can see it already, but when we zoom in, you're going to see that it gives it so much more depth and dimension by having the stark white on top. And then, I just got a fingerprint in it. I think it's going to be fine. Try and press that fingerprint out. It's having the stark white on top and then having that more covered up. It's not translucent. It's more blued out white underneath. So disregarding the fingerprint, here, take a look at it. Zoomed in here. See how there's the depth because there's that darker white underneath and then there's the super white, crisp white on top. And I'm gonna go ahead and really quick, I'm just gonna put some smudge-free top coat on because top coat can do a lot. And I'm hoping that if I put it on fast enough, it might help with the that fingerprint that I accidentally put in there. And it looks like it's smoothing it out just right. Perfect. That's perfect. Okay, so we'll come back and zoom in on these, like I said, at the end. And on this one, I want to do the clams. So let's go ahead and clean those out. And give that a whirl. So I have a friend over on Maui named Tim, and he goes scuba diving all the time. And I have been kind of nervous to learn to scuba dive because when I very first put my snorkel on and put my face in water, I kind of had a panic. I think it's human nature to not be willing to breathe underwater with your, you know, when you put your face in water. I think it's just human nature, but I don't know. Maybe that's just what it is. And so I'm hoping that that's just what it is because he offered to teach me how to dive. And my partner, Scotty, he is certified. So he'll just have to get recertified. Like you can refresh your certification. Oh, man. I forgot to clean off the white from the other one. But you know what? I'm just going to go for it, you guys. Well, I guess I'm not. I just threw that in my lap. And it survived. Okay. We're going for it right now. Okay. All right. So now I'm hoping that this little white bit, yeah, was thinking that was the case, that it might just flake right off. Because, I mean, like I say, when with the tape thing, that's such a tiny little bit of white that it comes off really simply. Okay. So my friend Tim, right, he's talking about getting going scuba diving, and I was like, well, is there a particular season that's better for it? And he texted me January 1st through December 31st. And I read it as December 1st through January 31st, like wintertime, like those 2 months are the best. And I was like, oh, okay, so we got to figure this out because that's coming right up. And then I read it again and I realized what he actually wrote was all year long. Scuba diving, he says, is great all year long, which I guess it's different from snorkeling, because snorkeling, if the water's really choppy, you can get like pushed around and thrown around a lot. But if you're diving, you go under the water, and even if it's choppy on top, it's not underneath. Okay, so now okay, well, we're just gonna have to pick this up and then see if we can figure out how to line it up, because these all just look like the same kind of blobs. And I can't tell which end we picked it up from, because I was panicking about the white. I see a wee little baby one, and then like a fan. Nope. Huh. You know, I think I've gone way too long considering this. I didn't go sideways, did I? I think it did end up going sideways. Because that... No, I definitely went up and down. My nail's too long to go sideways. Okay, well, I'm going to figure it out while I'm on here. That's how it goes. I don't even know if this is going to stick anymore, you guys. Yep. Well, I know how to fix this. I know how to fix this. Because this was what I was thinking I might do as my base coat, but then I thought it might be too distracting for the seashells. This is Beach Please from Holo Taco, and it is like a sand colored holographic, and we're going to just paint over all of that, and pretend like it never happened is what we're gonna do right there. Okay, so let's put some smudge-free top coat on. Let's do my pinky. I already got the middle finger. Let's get this index. Okay. And then we'll go for the thumb. And we'll take a closer look. I'll put a second coat of that Beach Please on, and then those seashells will be entirely erased. That seashell blooper. Okay, so let's take a zoom in on the nails and take a look at what we got. Okay, so here we have our seashells in the layered format. And I think that I might make that one matte because that might actually bring out the seashells even more. Here is our one layer of seafoam, and then here's what it looks like with the double layer of seafoam, which I think this looks just so beautiful. And you can see underneath, and then sometimes when, let's see if I can get when that shimmer covers it up, you can't see the underneath layers, but you can still see the top one. It really reminds me of ocean water, like crashing on the shore. And then we got some glittery sand. Again, I'm gonna put another coat on to hide those bloopers. And then we got some ocean water. So I hope you guys like that, bloopers and all. You know, they don't always all work out, but hopefully I can get that fixed. And if you liked my video, feel free to like it and subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. And after the birthday weekend, I'll see you guys later. Bye.